We are at the 30A Songwriters Festival in South Walton, Florida for the 2026 event. So happy to be hanging out here with Amy Helm. How are you?
Glad to be here. I'm good, thank you.
So good to see you.
Great to see you too.
It's so nice to come down here.
It is. What a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And what a cool condo.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
This is a sweet little hang.
It's pretty swanky.
It's a swanky hang.
Yeah,
I like it.
we're hanging out here, and of course it's big enough. I think there's venues that aren't quite as large as this living room that I have known and loved through the years. It's pretty funny.
It's cool.
Yeah. So coming down and being among other like-minded songwriters, how does that feel?
Oh, it always feels so great to connect with other artists, and especially now, I think it's just a good time to be playing music and listening to music and shaking hands and giving hugs, seeing old friends. It's just a nice thing to be able to do. I'm really, really honored to be invited here this year. I've never been to 30A, so my first time down here, and boy, the ocean's incredible, and I have this incredible band with me, these incredible musicians, so it's great.
Let's talk about the band.
Yeah, let's talk about the band.
Who you got?
I have Ganessa James on bass and vocals. And Ganessa, I met her, she plays with Allison Russell, and she plays with Toshi Reagan often. And she played a Midnight Ramble. She came and opened one of the Rambles for us, and I was really happy to get to bring her down here and get to collaborate. We've never really connected with each other, except for sitting in with each other here and there. So that's been great. And I have Anthony DaCosta on guitar. He's a hero. He's amazing. Yeah. And I have Charlie Drayton on drums, which is, incredible. So, he's a very special musician and a legend, and has this, phenomenal resume, but even more so than that, he just is an incredible center of gravity in any music you're playing. So that's been amazing too.
Such a great rootsy feel to what you do. It's really so magical, conjuring spirits and just in this pocket. It's quiet, but it's at least for the set that we just heard, and joyous and it's good for your soul. How do I say this?
Yeah, it felt that way to me too. You always reach. Your reach is always dependent on who you're playing with, of course. And so with these three musicians, it can't, that quiet power that's what I was feeling too. It's just special people.
Now, I know that you stripped it down for us. Typically, to go see you play these days, is it a larger band?
No, this is the same group, but it's just a lot louder. it's all plugged in. Yeah. And it's been fun to explore the songs with this ensemble, and
So cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Ramble. We should talk.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I had the lovely opportunity.
You came to one, yeah. Who opened the night you were there?
It was, I want to say, a son. It was a trio, and they were kind of a little rock and roll. And I want to say was it a child?
Was it My Son?
It might have been.
It must have been. It was My Son Lee and his band. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was with Roche Collins, Yeah.
And, sort of a little Steely Dan kind of flavoring in there as well. So.
Yeah, well, my stepdad, Donald, who was there, sat in with them on piano, actually,
so cool.
that night. That was a fun night.
It was so wonderful.
Yeah.
It was really great just being part of it and experiencing it, because I had already left New York. So in my travels, I had never been before. Yeah. And of course, you had come to play for us for Americana Fest and mentioned that you were going to be doing it again. And it just happened that I was back in New York for that weekend.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was really so spiritual and special.
Thanks.
And everybody that came really felt, like they were going to Mecca. There was this sense of how important it was to be in that space for this music that you could feel throughout the room.
I know, that room has such a history to it, which is rooted in, my dad's reinvention and recovery of so many things, of himself from throat cancer, of himself from bankruptcy, of himself from drug addiction. So the walls and the beams and the bluestone is kind of infused with this striving and this triumph of his spirit. And so even for people that weren't there when the Rambles first started, I think it just rings in the room. And also when you have a place where the history is that instead of just a list of stars who have been there, which is always inspiring too, but I think people feel connected to their own story of whatever they're striving through when they come into that room. I think musicians feel it, and I think people in the audience feel it, and it's a really cool thing to observe it, you know. I sometimes just kind of watch it and see it and realize it's not, you know, it's an honor to try to continue to carry it on. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, that I loved about it is going downstairs where the memorabilia was on the walls and just really absorbing letters from different fire people and, you know, different community organizations and, you know, and awards. And it was really, it just is such a treat.
My favorite letter down there is the one that Graham Lesh told us about. So we found it online and printed it, which is the letter to the Grateful Dead about how impossible they were to work with. Was it from Warner Brothers or one of the record companies? And it's this funny letter where they're just saying, this band is going nowhere. You guys are impossible in the studio. And written on the front of the letter is this huge "fuck you" in red with a big, it's like, that's great. That's great. It's my favorite piece in the downstairs.
It's pretty trippy. Yeah. Actually, having a place for that stuff to live.
Yeah.
You know, I have years of doing this, and I have letters from people, and at some point, I mean, I don't know where it goes. You know, I don't know. But I mean, there's moments where, so-and-so wrote, like Robert Cray wrote me a letter on his first album that we were playing in Orlando. Thank you so much. You know, you don't know. I mean, it's hard to keep all that stuff because you don't know who's going to actually have longevity, you know, but it's really cool to look back on some of these moments and go, you know, wow, cool. What you have done. And indeed, what you have done is really so remarkable. And there's so many different directions that you have taken with bands through the years. And obviously, you know, working under your own name has been, you know, I think really fruitful, really clear, you know, as far as the music. Not that the others weren't, but there's just something, you know, really profound about the work that you've done under the solo stuff.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
You know?
Yeah.
And when do you know when it's time to, you know, stop this project and move on to the next?
What a great question.
It's hard. That's a hard thing to answer politically correctly.
Yeah, right. Well, I think for me, I just, you know, if you're touring a lot, I think you come into a place with the material where it's like, I need a new story to tell. That's what happens to me. And then, you know, you start to kind of open your mind to try to catch some kind of melody or lyric that might float in. And sometimes it's a long wait, you know, but for me, that's always the kind of test of it, is how do I feel when I'm singing something? Is it time to be able to throw in a new song to reflect upon the others? Yeah.
It's cool. So are you working on new music now?
I am.
That's cool.
I am.
Yeah, because it's been a while.
It's been a long time. Yeah. I'm working on a couple different projects that I'm excited about.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So because everybody's here from all over the country, what we've been asking everyone during this series of sessions is to take us back to your early days, and let's talk about what was around you, what got infused into your musical language early on, just by environment.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I get asked that question, I guess a lot. I guess we all do. And I think the first thing, like my kind of first clear, visceral musical memory is really the music that my grandmother was singing, the hymns that I was hearing at home. I always loved hymns. I loved the simplicity of it. As, you know, learning to play piano at 8 years old or whatever it was, learning to be able to play the block chords and sing along and find the song through that. That's my first deepest memory and imprint of a musical language where I was kind of like just completely smitten, enthralled. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and how can I do that? It wasn't necessarily that I so much wanted to be that, but I wanted to swim in the tonality of these different singers. Like, Donna Summer and Brenda Russell is a soul singer that I loved. My mom and I used to listen to her all the time, driving around. And then when I became a teenager, then I discovered Aretha Franklin, and then it was just done. I was just consumed with that and with a lot of soul singers. And that was kind of my way in. And then, my mom and my dad gave me an incredible musical education, playing a lot of stuff for me. My dad made sure that I listened to Muddy Waters and Ray Charles. And, my mom was Laura Nyro and the McGarrigle sisters, and this kind of like cool, eccentric left folk side of it with the writing. And then there was all the musicians that were around, which was interesting and amazing too. But I think it was really, for me, those memories were that moment where it's just you and what you're hearing. And it's like they're singing it just to you, and it's yours and yours alone. Like somehow no one else could ever hear this song the way you're hearing it. That's kind of the beauty.
Music definitely does that.
For
and
sure.
It's a special communication, a connection.
Yeah.
And I can say the same thing for what came at me through the radio speakers starting at age 3.
Yes.
I find it interesting that a lot of the people that you mentioned are female.
Yeah, right. Yes, and Maria Muldaur, I should say, who I got to know growing up, she was like, that was the stuff that really drew me in. Yeah.
What about Woodstock? What was that like as a musical cauldron?
I don't have a lot of memories of, there was music and there was always the sound of it. But for me, I think that there was so much chaos in my childhood at that time, and so much addiction, and, really beautiful people, really lost. And so it was so amorphous and kind of unsteady that I think that it sharpened the impact of those moments in front of the speaker for me, So it really made those moments even more special, because there was something holy happening, hearing those women singing. Yeah.
And also you're so in touch with your emotion, not the chaos, but this moment, this music in my ear. This is your world,
right.
And I love that so much about music, of the present time, that if whether you're live or whether you're listening to a recorded piece, that you can be in sync. Mm-hmm. I love the clarity of just that.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm an addict also. I'm a hoarder.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a music hoarder.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing to hoard. If you're going to be a hoarder, a music hoarder is the way to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's boxes and boxes and boxes of CDs and vinyl, and I have cassettes. I have, you name it.
I
don't
do
have
too,
any
actually. Yeah. I have some 8 tracks, and I have some DAT tapes.
I have DAT.
So maybe I'm a music hoarder.
No, I have DAT too. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a DAT machine.
Yeah, neither do I.
Maybe I do in storage. You never know what you will find. I'm about to go on that grand adventure of digging into the boxes and seeing, what this is, what that is.
Right.
And, it's such a lovely look back at your life to go through the eras. Oh, I was listening to this, as a teenager, or, on and on.
Yeah.
So cool. So, well, we so look forward to hearing new music from you. Right. I don't know whether you have it in the plan for this year or next.
I'm just kind of collecting the songs now, so I don't know if they come in quick, maybe, but probably into next year.
Well, so as you speak to that coming in quick, there's such a almost God-given purposeful moment when a song starts to come to you. Do you want to speak about being a receptor?
It was most beautifully said to me from my dear friend Martha Scanlon. Do you know Martha? Mm-hmm. She's an incredible writer. She's an incredible, also a very gifted teacher of writing. Like, she just knows how to sort of help somebody shape their song in their own voice as opposed to a co-write, which is an interesting thing to do. And when I was kind of in the process of trying to write my last record, which she did that with me, we would work together. I'd have these songs, some were mostly finished, some were just seeds. And I'd go along and I was trying to really challenge myself to put it in my voice instead of just kind of going for the easy path and finding a great lyricist and kind of flushing out these songs. And Martha said to me, she said, you have to give it time. It will reveal itself to you. The story of that song will reveal itself to you, right? It has its own little, it's like its own little spirit. It's its own little shy thing that kind of pops around. And then you start to, and she just had this way of reminding me of that and the mystery of songwriting. And that was an incredible experience to do that with her.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to Valerie June about it.
Oh, yeah.
She said they're like children.
I love Valerie June's music.
She's so amazing.
She's fantastic.
That they come and they have needs and desires, and they have to be listened to. She said it's almost like children, coming into your life.
Martha said the same thing.
It's really so special.
Yeah.
Such a gift.
Yeah.
We so appreciate you coming and playing for us.
Thank you so much
today.
Thanks. Thanks to your great crew.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
and
for
to
having
your great
us.
band.
Thanks.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Amy Helm for WMOT, the 30A Songwriters Sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.